Welcome to another exciting episode of Comicgeddon,
where comics and TV collide.
We're your hosts.
I'm John Wise.
I'm Shannon Cornthwaite. We've got a pretty exciting episode for you guys today.
We've got reviews from Supernatural.
No, right? Supernatural is on hiatus.
Because Supernatural's on hiatus, so no reviews for that.
We got Walking Dead. Supergirl. Gotham.
The return of Gotham, by the way.
Yeah, the return of Gotham.
Did not disappoint.
Small mini review of Lucifer.
Very small. Of course, we have some
movie news for you.
Movie news. We've got Archie news, Wolverine news. The top of the news, though, if you were on Facebook or multimedia yesterday, you know that today was the launch of the new Ghostbusters trailer.
Right.
I finally tried to stay up. I stayed up to about 2-3 in the morning. There was nothing on there. I went to bed. Then I get a message from this guy. Hey, did you see the Ghostbuster trailer? What did you think?
Well, I wasn't impressed. It had a few funny segments in it, but it was a little over the top. It was nothing like the original Ghostbusters movie. Of course, Jenny McCarthy can't really act. She basically plays the same character in everything she does.
So she's the female Johnny Depp.
Pretty much, but Johnny Depp is actually getting a little bit better now that he...
Yeah, it only took him 20 years.
Yeah. There was a really funny part in the trailer.
Are you referring to the library scene?
That scene was pretty good.
That part cracked me up.
My favorite part of the trailer was where Jenny McCarthy's character gets possessed by a ghost, and she's got the blonde-headed chick. I don't know her name. She's kind of cute.
I know Jenny McCarthy.
That's neither here nor there. She's got her hanging out the window. Was it her, or was it the really skinny brown-haired chick?
No, I think it was the blonde.
The blonde. Okay. She has her hanging out the window, and then the big old Amazon queen comes running up and pulls her in, and Jenny McCarthy's head is spinning around doing an exorcist, and the Amazon chick is like, she smacks Jenny McCarthy, and she's like, "Don't you possess my friend," or some crap like that, and knocks the ghost out of her, and then she comes back and goes, "The power of pain compels you," smack, after she's already been exorcised.
So you weren't impressed?
It was too comedic. The original Ghostbusters, it was comedic, but serious too.
Well, did you ever go back and watch the trailer for the original Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
It had a lot of the comedic elements from the movie in the trailer. A lot of the non-comedic stuff, was mostly in the movie, but there was still stuff we didn't see. Here's a surprise. I actually enjoyed the trailer. I don't think this Ghostbusters is going to be anywhere near as good as the original. It may not even be as good as the second one. The second one you either loved it or you hated it. I actually loved it. But I do think this is going to be a fairly decent fit into that franchise. Just now that I've seen the trailer, because you did see Slimer.
Yeah.
Slimer, after we were told Slimer would not appear in the movie.
Right.
So we already have some surprises that have been added, some stuff that has been kept from us. There's a hint. I don't know if they're going to do this in the movie, if this was just a trailer thing, but there's hints that maybe the previous Ghostbusters did exist.
See, I'm not sure, because the library scene at the beginning of the trailer, it's very reminiscent of the original Ghostbusters.
It is, but if you look at the trailer, you had they did show the old firehouse looking kind of ratty. In the subway tunnel, you did see the Ghostbuster emblem spray painted on.
Right.
So it's kind of like they at least give you the idea that maybe this happens kind of in the same universe, but maybe at the same time not. Like maybe they existed once upon a time, and these girls are like, "Hey, why don't we do something similar?"
But in the synopsis that they gave us way back when it first was in production, they were saying that the government disavows any ghosts don't really exist or aren't supposed to exist right now. And the government is playing it off like an Area 51 type thing, disavowing any knowledge.
And again, I want to point out, we were also told, absolutely, positively not, no Slimer.
That's true.
So this could be, and we were just looking on Facebook before here. Dan Aykroyd has been thumbs up for this movie for the longest time. After the trailer, he kind of did an "I told you so." Like, he's still really for it. Like, I think he knows something that we don't. And I think I'm going to say what I thought I never would say about this movie. I think people are going to underestimate it. I think when people go to the movie to see it, and this is completely 180 from what I was saying a year ago, I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised. I don't think they're going to say, hey, this is a great movie, but I think they're going to say it was a fun movie. Maybe not even a good movie, but a fun movie.
Yeah, fun movie, possibly.
It's going to be a nice popcorn movie.
I'd hate anything Jenny McCarthy is in is never a good movie.
But half of her movies are actually funny and fun, and the other half is kind of a bomb.
Yeah.
The movie she was in with Sandra Bullock was actually funny. What was that? It was called The Heat.
Yeah,
that was actually kind of funny.
I didn't really care for that.
And I do like her show Mike and Molly too.
Mike and Molly is okay.
So I mean, she can be funny.
She played a good role on Gilmore Girls.
And it is the same character in every movie.
Yeah.
But they played in that. Every movie has started to play in that. So I mean, it doesn't really hurt her, but at the same time, it doesn't really help her either.
She really needs to go to acting school. I feel she's a comedian, and that's it. She took absolutely no acting classes whatsoever, and she's trying to put all of her real life personality into all of her roles, and it just doesn't work. I mean, look at Adam Sandler. His movies are starting to drop off now because well,
they have been for a while.
Yeah, they have been for a while, but
I actually enjoy Pixels.
Yeah, so. I did too. But it's like he plays the same character in almost all his movies. The one movie that he doesn't play the same character in, which I haven't actually seen yet, but I've seen like the poster for it or whatever, The Cobbler. It looks more like a serious movie. That and Spanglish.
Haven't seen Spanglish. I kind of want to see Cobbler.
He actually is starting to extend his acting credentials beyond just comedy.
Just to be a segment from another thing real quick here, but can he pull serious off?
Yeah, I think Adam Sandler can pull serious. Yeah, I think he can.
So, topic for another time, Adam Sandler. Real quick, wrap things up on the Ghostbuster thing. What do you think? What grade do you give the trailer?
I'd give
not necessarily the movie. The movie is white, but the trailer.
I'd give the trailer a 6. I did find myself laughing out loud a few times during the trailer.
I'm going to give it a surprisingly 7. I really like the effects. I love the way the ghosts look in this movie. Slimer looks exactly like Slimer, but with that new ghost feel. I thought
new Slimer with that new ghost smell.
And we got Ecto Cooler coming back.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the girls in the movie, the women, I don't want to take anybody off out there. I think the girls are going to do really well.
See, the only one I would keep...
For the parts that they were given, just judging by the trailer, they did, from what we've seen, pretty good. And
judging just from the trailer, the only one I would keep would be the blonde. The other ones...
I liked the one with the brown long hair. I think she...
the really skinny
I think
one.
she's going to be the Venkman of the group.
Possibly.
I think McCarthy's going to be the Aykroyd of the group. The blonde's going to be the Egon of the group. And we've got the
Juggernaut.
The blacks are going to be the Winston of the group. Hate the stereotype, but I mean, one's black, one's wearing glasses, one has the whole, like, I got slimed, and the other one just loves ghosts. I think we can do this. So then, I mean, they're obviously, you know, the female versions of Ray, Peter, Egon, and Winston. So, and I love the nods that they threw out in the movie with Slimer, the library scene. A lot of people disliked the way the Ecto-1 looks because it's not a Cadillac ambulance. I love the ambulance. I love the original Ecto-1, don't get me wrong. But I always felt why not a hearse? Because for years before I knew that was an ambulance, I thought it was a hearse growing up as a kid.
Same here. Now that I see the hearse though, and the red roof and all that, I want the old Ecto one back.
I'd love to see the old. I hope they throw it in somewhere in the background. But I'm actually digging the hearse. Not so much the Ecto 2 motorcycle that we've seen pictures of, but I'm kind of digging the new Ecto one.
And Christopher, what's his name? Played Thor.
Oh, Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth plays Rick Moranis' type character.
Is he?
Yes.
So I thought he was playing the Janine, the male version of Janine.
Well, it's kind of up in the air. Because he looks more like the Rick Moranis style character, but they may be merging the two.
And seeing him in Horrible Bosses 2, I know he can pull his comedic role off. So, have you seen Horrible Bosses 2?
No. I've seen the first one.
He plays a very, very comedic role, and I think it's another step in his acting career, and I don't think it's going to be a step down for him. He's Thor, not Thor. Yeah, Thor.
Yeah.
I get him and Kirk mixed up because one played daddy, one played son.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to hurt him at all. But the trailer definitely a 7. You give it a 6. So
we'll see. We'll see when the movie comes out. I don't know if I want to pay the money to see it in theaters or not.
I'm going to go see it in theaters. I've seen Ghostbusters 1 in theaters, seen Ghostbusters 2 in a theater. I wouldn't be a Ghostbusters fan if I didn't at least give this one a try.
I thought maybe I'll wait for it to come out on Blu-ray or DVD, which I'll only be waiting.
Well,
two or 3 months.
How about this? You and I go see it together at the theater, and we can come back and we do a proper review of it. Because people are going to want a review of it when the movie comes out. Good. So, there you go. We're planning ahead. Make sure you tune in July. But let us know. You saw the trailer. If you haven't, check it out. It's on YouTube. It's on all over social media. Give us a shot on Facebook, on his Facebook, my Facebook. Or
YouTube.
Or YouTube. Or
his YouTube, my YouTube.
His YouTube. Your YouTube. Give us a shout out. Tell us what you think of the Ghostbusters trailer.
You want to do movies?
Let's do reviews first.
Okay, reviews. Walking Dead.
Best for first.
You want to do the line or should I? You can probably do it better.
Trying to remember the exact. I remember it deals with Biswick
and
pancakes. For those of you not in the know, apparently when you mix Biswick, you get pancakes 9 months later. Abraham delivering another great line in the show. Abrahamism. We've got who's Deanna? We've got who's Negan? And now we've got. So did you when you were adding Biswick? Did you mean to make the pancakes? Something along those lines. Check out the episode. It's on AMC.com.
Did you intend to make pancakes when you were mixing the Bisquick?
There you go. Even Glenn was looking at him like, "What are you on?"
I like what they said on Talking Dead. How Maggie they should have just zoomed in on Maggie and seen a smile on her face or something. Megan Cohen said that, or what's her? Is it Megan Cohen or Lauren Cohen? Lauren Cohen,
I think, yeah.
Said that she was cracking up. They had to do several takes of that scene.
And I love the picture going on Facebook where he says that Glenn shows him the picture, and his picture, instead of a baby, it's a picture of pancakes. So
that was probably the best part of that episode. There really wasn't much else to the episode other than the hilltop.
The hilltop was the big thing. Getting the hilltop. The new current antagonist on Negan shows up, which is Gregory. The other cheat.
And see, I don't really remember that much about Gregory in the comics. Of course, I've read the comics. It's just been so long ago.
And though the Biswick line was everybody's favorite, I think I laughed the hardest. My girlfriend did too. Right after Rick kills the dude, stands up, face all full of blood, looks at everyone, what? Which is straight out of the comic book.
Yeah.
And I'm just cracking up, and no matter where Rick goes, no matter who he meets for the first time,
he always gets blood on his face.
Has to show him killing somebody. Like, what? Loved it.
You know, every time he kills someone like that, and he gets blood all over his face, I think, okay, was he going for his red badge of courage or something?
At least we get a rough idea what zombie Rick will ever look like if it should happen, because he's had blood on his face.
How would you be able to tell the difference? He's already bit someone's jugular out,
and he's growing the beard back.
Yeah.
So maybe Michonne likes the beard. Maybe Rick likes the beard. I don't know.
He looks better. He looks better with the beard.
I don't know. I think non-bearded Rick is more sane than bearded Rick.
No, because after he shaved his beard, and when they first got to Alexandria, he kind of went off the deep end too.
Right. But getting back to the episode, I thought it was a decent episode. It was. The whole episode was basically them trying to meet the Hilltop people finally, which is another step towards them meeting Negan for the first time, and so it was a slow-going episode. Not many deaths, not many zombies.
Rick put Maggie in charge of meeting with Gregory, which Gregory was hitting on her the entire time.
I think Gregory was just a douchebag altogether. Yeah. He probably would have hit on Rick if he was in
oh, stop it.
So no, I stepped down from the last two episodes, which I think we gave a what was our grade on those? It was a solid 9.5.
Yeah, I think it was a solid 9.5.
This one I'm just going to get set down to 7. It was a great episode. It wasn't a great episode, but it was an important episode. So
and the best part of the episode was the Bisquick scene.
And should Abraham ever die, we're just going to lose all the best lines.
Yeah, because in the comics, he's already died well ahead of this point.
Okay.
He died shortly after they came to Alexandria. He was on the construction crew that was in charge of expanding Alexandria and everything, and they got attacked by a horde outside, and I think that's where he died finally. So he's lived on, but I think it's only because he came in so late in the show.
And he's just he's that character everybody wants to know what he's going to say next. So, and as a pausing point, editing point, my rubber spoiler warning was the beginning of the I didn't know that far yet. Okay.
All right.
So, Walking Dead, I give it a 7.
I give it about a 7.5.
Okay.
Only because of the Bisquick scene.
Now let's do the big return. Well, yeah, let's do the big return.
The big return.
Gotham.
Yes.
Gotham made its big return this past Monday.
They introduced
Mr. Freeze episode, which I was really worried about.
Yeah. I think they did it okay. They could have probably done it better, but it is early in the career. So
of Mr. Fries.
Yeah, Mr. Fries.
So that's one thing that bothered me in the whole episode.
Yeah.
Was his name was always Victor Freeze. Every point of media has ever said that, and this one, I guess they just intended it as a joke, but they changed his last name pronunciation from Freeze to Fries.
Yeah, because Gordon actually originally calls him Freeze, and then they make a point to say, I thought it was Fries. It looks like Fries.
And it was Bullock who said it. He goes, I'm never wrong on pronunciation. And sure enough, Nora Fries says no, it's Fries. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
But that's really the only thing about that episode that really bothered me. I think they did a good introduction into the Freeze. They added in perfectly. He's not Mr. Freeze yet.
Yeah, they show his desperation really well. They show exactly what's going on with Nora, why he ends up becoming the way he does.
And he's not really a bad guy. He does bad things, but he's doing it because he's trying to save his wife.
Yeah. He's really.
Freeze was always one of those tragic villains.
Yes.
That was really, I mean, we didn't really give two craps about him 30, 40 years ago when he was introduced. It wasn't until Batman Animated Series when they did Heart of Ice that people really like, oh, I get the character. That's really sad.
Back during Adam West's career.
Where I think, was he Mr. Freeze then, or was he Mr. Zero or Sub-Zero or something?
I think he was Mr. Freeze, but
he was based on the.
He was a lot like Arnold Schwarzenegger's take on Mr. Freeze. Very campy, very.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've ignored that part of my life.
So that's pretty much it for Gotham.
No, it's not.
No,
because we also got the introduction of another Batman villain, Dr. Hugo Strange.
Oh yes, Dr. Hugo Strange,
portrayed awesomely by
was it B.G. Wong?
B.G. Wong,
yeah.
who if you recognize the name but you can't place the face, if you're a Law and Order SVU fan, he plays Wong, the psychiatrist on SVU.
He also plays on both Father of the Bride movies as Howard.
Who I didn't realize that for years.
Yes, Martin Short's partner.
If you're a Jurassic Park fan, he played the lead scientist in the first movie, and if you've seen Jurassic World, he played not only the lead scientist, but a guy who turns becomes a bad guy in the movie. But he's an all-around really great actor. He kind of gets stereotyped as a smart guy, but at this point,
well, he
really
looks
works.
like a smart guy.
He does.
And I love.
He has the look.
He looks like they just took Hugo Strange right off the pages. I mean, Hugo Strange is supposed to be a little bit taller. He's kind of shorter, about Jonathan's height.
I think he's a little taller.
Maybe a little bit.
Everybody's taller.
But he really pulled it off well. I was impressed by his take.
Definitely. So we have two villains for the price of one in this, as far as introductions. We've got Penguin taking the fall for Gordon, because at the end of the last episode, Gordon actually comes straight out murders the bad guy.
And Penguin's going to want something in return for that.
And he's in jail.
Even though Gordon kind of did him a favor by killing him. So,
allowing him to kill.
Yeah. Which we don't even really know for sure if he is actually dead, though, because there are
well, no, they said they found his body in the water.
Oh, okay.
They did find him in the lake.
See, there are pictures of him returning, though, as Azrael.
Is it?
Yes.
Sad to see this, but I heard Azrael showing up.
And see, I was
someone else
thinking...
we haven't seen yet that I'm really waiting to see. I can't wait to see him. Is Penguin's daddy, Paul Rubens.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't heard about that?
No.
Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens is coming back.
That's funny, because they look like they could be father and son.
Well, here's the cool thing. Paul Rubens played Penguin's dad in Batman Returns.
Yes, he did.
So he's coming back to play, because it was also his mom, the Penguin's mom in Batman Returns, was also starred in Pee-wee's Big Adventure as well. As the one was, au revoir, Pee-wee.
You know who else starred in Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Pee-wee?
Well, maybe not Pee-wee's Big Adventure, but the TV show. Perry White himself.
Yeah.
From Man of Steel.
Yeah. He was Cowboy Bob.
Yeah.
So, they're definitely not afraid to use some Pee-wee alum for DC characters. But yeah, so we have Penguin's dad showing up. We've got Azrael showing up.
And real quick, back to Pee-wee. You know who used to produce that show and did all the art production on it?
It was Tim Burton, I think, wasn't it?
No. Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie, that's right.
Rob Zombie did all the art production on Pee-wee's Playhouse.
But Gotham this week was really good. I definitely give it a solid 7.5.
I'd go a little bit higher. I'd maybe 8.5. Closer to 9, maybe.
I don't think it was a perfect episode. No. I don't think it was close to a perfect episode. But it was a really great introduction to Freeze and Strange. It was a nice return episode.
They didn't really deal too much with Bruce, though.
No, we had no Bruce.
Yeah. They talked about him a little bit, but that was about it.
And we had a little hint of Selena Kyle in the episode as she's spying on Butch, and so...
She is going to be one good-looking girl when she gets older. I'm not trying to sound sick or anything, but, you can usually tell how a girl is going to look when she gets older. She looks really mature for her age.
She's going to grow up to actually be able to portray an adult Catwoman now.
Yes.
So
she's going to be a lot...
That's all I'll say.
Yeah. She's going to be like the Britney Spears back. Remember when...
I hope she's not going to be the Britney Spears.
Bob Dole did the Viagra commercial.
Hannah Montana is our Britney Spears of this generation. Because Hannah Montana was all this cute, every guy wants her, and then I'm just waiting for her to shave her head. Oh, too late. So, and then we had no Flash or Arrow or Legends of Tomorrow. I think they're...
we had Lucifer.
Hiatus, but we do have Lucifer, which I still have to check out. I went to check out the first episode yesterday. I kind of binge watched the 5 episodes to prepare for today, but they're on episode 6, and on Hulu they only show the top 5 episodes, so I can't watch the first episode. So I might just start with the second episode. I'm assuming they'll do a recap.
Yeah.
So I'll know more about Lucifer, the TV show, when hopefully here next week. But here's the man who actually watches this week.
And there's really not much to tell about the Lucifer show. His wings got stolen. That was the whole premise of the show.
So how do you still lose
this episode?
And
when he fell to Earth, he cut them off.
I was going to say, if you cut them off, he becomes human. Or does that work on the show?
I don't know if that's how it works on the show or not.
So where's he working?
He cut his wings off, and he kept them locked up in case he ever wanted them to put them back on.
How do you put them back on?
Well, he's an angel, so I imagine they just cut, kind of like what happened in Dogma, where
but if you cut them off, you become human. You're no longer angel. If you try to put them back on,
in Lucifer, he is slowly starting to become mortal.
Okay.
He can get hurt now, which they depicted 2 episodes ago when he asked the detective to shoot him in the leg. He asked the detective to shoot him. She grazed him in the leg, and he's like, "Wait a minute, that hurts. That actually really hurts." And he starts bleeding, and he's like, "What? I can't get hurt. I'm immortal." Then, come to find out, he's turning mortal. But the whole episode, it's all about someone stole this crate of Lucifer's. We don't know what's inside of it. He tells the detective that there's some dolls in there, some Russian dolls. Where you open them up and it keeps getting smaller.
Yeah.
And by the end of the episode, they do find the crate. He shows the detective there is a trunk in there with those Russian dolls on the inside. But when she leaves, he opens the secret door in the back, reveals where his wings should be, and at the very, very end of the episode, it shows someone displaying the wings, getting ready to sell them.
Does Lucifer have any arch nemesis in this show?
Kind
of like a villain of the week type of thing.
No, it's kind of a villain of the week. It's a lot like Castle.
Okay.
There is an angel, I forget his name, that's trying to get him to go back to hell. Lucifer sees a therapist. He trades sex for therapy sessions.
I'm assuming it's a female therapist?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Nothing at all. But let's see, he has this demon that works for him that's supposed to protect him no matter what for all eternity.
So is it kind of like a newer version of Angel?
Kind of a cross between Angel and Castle.
Angel and Castle?
Yeah.
I might be interested in seeing it anyway. What grade would you give it?
I would probably give it a 5, simply because not a whole lot happened during the episode. There's some funny scenes. The back and forth between Lucifer and the detective is hilarious. The portrayal of Lucifer is spot on to what I always imagined, a real Lucifer would be like. But yeah, overall the episode wasn't that great. Best part was at the end. There was one funny scene where the detective's ex-husband, the demon that protects Lucifer, actually gave the detective's ex-husband, who's also a detective, something to drink. Next thing he knows, he's waking up naked in his ex-wife's bedroom.
Whoops.
Yeah. So, and his daughter discovers, because he tries to sneak out of the house. About that time, they come home. So he has to quickly dart into his daughter's bedroom, and she starts coming. So he hurries up, sits on her bed, and covers up with her pillow.
Wait, he's trying to sneak out naked?
Yes. He doesn't know where his clothes are. His clothes are nowhere to be found.
Or he just jumped out the window?
They came home too fast. And their daughter quickly, first thing, went into her bedroom and saw. And so he's like, let's play a game. Don't tell your mother that I'm here. Let's sneak Daddy out of the house as quickly as possible. And then the next scene, you see him going to Lucifer's bar or nightclub or whatever, wearing his ex-wife's jogging suit. Pink, very flamboyant, belly shirt, Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
So you gave it a 5.
Yeah, 5.
Okay. I got a show that I really got to check out. Another show we're going to do a review. I think this was the last review.
Yes,
Supergirl?
the last
Supergirl.
review, Supergirl.
Again, haven't watched it except for the one episode. From the way it sounds from him and online, I really need to start watching it. Maybe find a way to catch up. Because in this episode, we see the Fortress of Solitude and the giant key.
They really paid homage to the comics with this episode, to the Superman comics. Inside the Fortress of Solitude, you see the 2 statues of the Kryptonians holding a planet. You also see
in the animated series.
Yes. You also see a Legion ring,
which we see in the animated series. We saw in Smallville.
We saw in Legion of Superheroes. You also see, I forget the name of it. It's that orb thingy that was used in the Supergirl movie.
If you've ever seen Supergirl, the movie, which had Heather Slater and Peter O'Toole.
You said Tool.
I said Tool. There's an orb that is used for the evil witch queen's magic, and that showed up in the episode.
Yes.
That was pretty cool. They kind of give a homage to the anime series, comics, all incarnations of Superman, and so it was pretty cool.
Yeah. In the show, Dean Cain plays Kara's adopted father.
Right.
Heather Slater plays Kara's adopted mother.
Right. So you had Superman and Superman's mama. Yeah. And Supergirl.
Yeah. And in the episode, Laura Vandervoort played Indigo.
That was this episode?
Yes, that was this episode.
I wanted to see that episode. Laura Vandervoort also played Supergirl.
Yes. We got the key to the Fortress of Solitude, which is made out of very compacted, dense star material, white dwarf or dwarf star material that's supposed to be so heavy that only a Kryptonian can lift it. We got to see Kalex, which was a lot different than his Man of Steel counterpart, but he looked just like he does in the comics. In the in the Return of Superman.
In the Return of Superman, and it looks fairly the same as he did in the animated Superman Doomsday movie.
Yes.
So.
And I was shocked at how well they paid attention to.
I will sadly admit I have not given this show its fair due. I watched the first episode, absolutely hated it, and didn't go back into it. I did what a lot of people did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I will admit I'm kind of ashamed. I passed judgment before I had a chance to give it a shot, so I do need to go back, and I won't be one of those people, I've been a fan since the beginning, because it's not true. So, unlike some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans.
But Indigo, Laura Vandervoort's character, they actually do bring up the point where she does play a Brainiac.
I saw that in the 3 dollars,
Yeah.
so I would assume she was a Brainiac.
But she plays this alien race that came to Krypton that the Kryptonians used as computers.
So they still went with the Brainiac Kryptonian origin.
Right.
Which I always liked that origin.
But they also, I think they said her original name was like Brainiac 3 or something like that. And then she thought Indigo suited her more, which General Non, because Non's the general in this show, not Zod. If you guys aren't familiar with Non, in the original Superman movies with Christopher Reeve, Non was the big ogre guy that only grunted.
Was that Non or Nog?
Non.
So I thought his name was Nog.
I believe it was Non.
I'll have to look that up. If you know, go ahead and let us know. I say Nog, he says Non. I don't think, so we'll find, let us know, we'll look it up and
But Non is actually married to Supergirl's aunt, which is now her deceased aunt after Supergirl's human sister ran her through with a kryptonite sword.
Does she have that aunt?
Yes. Her aunt is actually Kara's mother's twin sister.
Jerry!
She was trying to kill the Martian Manhunter because Martian Manhunter was trying to stop her and protect Kara and the Earth and all this. And Kara's sister runs her through the back with kryptonite sword. So for the past few weeks now, Kara has been really angry with Hank, which is the Martian Manhunter, because he took the blame. He didn't want to see.
Is he still using the name Hank Henshaw?
Yes.
I don't like that. See, that stuff like that is what kind of threw me away from the show. But
Hank took the blame, said that he's the one that killed her. So Kara has been extremely angry with him.
Does she
feel
know
like
who actually killed?
It is finally revealed at the end of the episode.
Okay.
And she tries to be angry and everything, and her sister starts crying and says she doesn't want to lose her and all this other stuff. And she just turns around and gives her sister a big hug. And as Hank is walking out, Kara reaches for him and kind of holds his hand. Yeah, very Dawson's Creek moment.
Now you're all gonna have that song stuff.
Well, no, I watch that show on Pop every now and then, and they actually don't use that song anymore because they never secured the.
Secured the right. What song do they use?
The same song that they used for their overseas. I can't remember the name of it. I don't
know. It
even
wasn't
know.
Dawson's Creek, but it was Felicity that Amy Jo Johnson showed up on.
Yes.
Okay, I watched Felicity when Amy Jo Johnson was on there, the Pink Ranger. So, but that's neither here or there. From what I read of Supergirl and from what you told me of it, just because the little nods to all the movies, I'll give it a nice solid 5.5. I'll watch it. My review might go off, but so when you've seen it, what do you give Supergirl this week?
I'd give it probably an 8. It was a pretty good episode. A lot of good nods to the comics.
All the media, it sounds like.
Yeah. Laura Vandervoort played an excellent Brainiac type character.
Laura Vandervoort could play Swamp Thing and still look hot.
However, I was thinking this. My wife was thinking this.
Mystique.
Yes. She looks just like Mystique.
Yeah.
Only she's got half her hair braided and the other half.
Except she was actually wearing a latex suit as opposed to naked.
Yes.
So, I did see the pictures.
I would much rather the latter of the two. An 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
It was pretty good.
As we said before, there's no Flash, there's no Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. until next week. There's no Arrow, and there's no Legends of Tomorrow. So.
However, when Flash returns in a few weeks, the man, the myth, the master, Kevin Smith, will be directing an episode.
Still hasn't told which episode he's directing, but he will be going to direct an episode.
And he was talking about it on Batman today, or yesterday, whenever they filmed that, where Mark Hamill actually called him up. Mark Hamill's over in Europe right now filming Star Wars.
Which we'll touch up on next week, I think.
Yeah.
Because there's some new tidbits that have come out about that.
Mark Hamill called him up and asked, "Is there any way that Trickster could appear in the episode you're directing?" And Kevin's like, "Aren't you a little busy right now?"
There's always time for Trickster. Mark Hamill
relationship phone that appearance.
The relationship between Mark Hamill and Kevin Smith I always found to be great because Mark Hamill did an awesome job in Jay Silent Bob Strikes Back as the Cockknocker. He's always wanted to work with Kevin Smith again. He loves playing the Trickster and the Flash. It's just a perfect combination. I hope they get a chance to work it out. So, and last thing I saw Kevin Smith as far as TV episode goes, he did Reaper, the first episode of Reaper, which was the only episode I ever enjoyed of that show. So
I forgot about Reaper. I watched that with my ex-girlfriend way back when. And we thought it was pretty good, and then we just stopped seeing episodes.
It lasted 2 seasons. And everybody says the best episode was the first episode that Kevin Smith directed. So we're done with TV reviews. We've got some other movie news.
Yes.
This is kind of my area of expertise a little bit, because I'm Mr. Movie Guy here.
Even though I'm sure I probably own more movies than you.
You have to come by and say sometime. I got a lot.
See mine too.
I'll
show you mine. You show me yours.
Should we turn the camera first? Let's start with Power Rangers.
Okay.
I've been a huge Power Ranger fan since 1993. I'm still watching the show. I have all the DVDs up to the volume 1 of Down Charge.
I've got the first 2 box sets that came with the Time Life collectors.
I got box sets. The only thing box sets I don't have is they released Samurai and Super Samurai as a collective. After that, they started doing individual discs with Mega Force, Super Mega Force, Down Charge. So I have all of those. I haven't watched them all. I'm currently on Operation Overdrive, and it has to do something to do with the car theme, because I have a hard time getting through Turbo, and I'm having a hard time getting through Overdrive. But that's either here or there. When I say Power Rangers, I'm talking about the original, the new Power Rangers movie coming out. Filming has begun this week on Power Rangers. I like the fact it's a completely unknown cast.
With the exception of Rita Repulsa.
Which Elizabeth Banks is playing Rita Repulsa, which I have both my and okay thoughts about it, and because I think they should stick more with the Asian Japanese roots. Okay.
You see a blonde wearing the cones on their breasts.
But I don't think she's going to be blonde. I don't think she's going to be blonde. I think she's going to actually look more like the Rita Repulsa. Oh. And that's what that's my okay thoughts on it, because I think she can pull it off. Power Rangers was never meant to be taken seriously. I'm really hoping that's not the direction they're taking.
I'm kind of...
By the way, if you see one of us looking over this way, we're in my comic book store.
We are live.
Of Geeking Out Comics at 2924 North Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, Indicator, Illinois. And occasionally we'll see somebody walk by and we'll just go, "Are you coming in?" So
we were hoping to film before our live studio audience like we did last week.
And
however...
We'll touch on that here towards the end. But yeah. I'm digging the cast. I like the fact there's a bunch of unknowns, because every incarnation of Power Rangers has been unknown, and I'd like to see that tradition continue. They need some kind of a name in the movie, and Elizabeth Banks appears to be that name. We don't know who's doing either portraying or voicing Zordon yet. We don't know, and I'm assuming Alpha 5 is going to be in it. I know Scorpina is supposed to be the main villain. So we'll try, hopefully soon, we'll get a announcement there. And I'm hoping my favorite monster's in it, which is Goldar. I like Goldar.
I was more of a King Sinks guy, though. But he was portrayed more in the comics and the coloring books and stuff. He only lasted 1 episode, but he was kind of a background character in a few of the early episodes.
Yeah. So they didn't really do it. He was a bigger player in the actual Japanese version of the show. But yeah, I like the route they're going with so far. The only thing, the big thing that worries me, and it kind of sounds like they're doing the whole teen drama route with it, where I'm the geek and I'm getting teased by the jock, but in the end we're going to be friends, and the jock is going to be Jason, obviously. Some of the backgrounds I have issues with too, like Jason's a jock.
Kimberly is supposed to be this very introverted kind of outcast type.
No, not outcast. She's supposed to be the preppy.
From what I've read of Kimberly, she experienced, her parents got into a car accident or something, and so she's very almost. Her personality is kind of gothic, even though she doesn't really dress gothic.
So I didn't read about that. I've read the complete opposite of that. So again, we're getting different things here as far as characterizations go, but they're not the characters that we remember from 20 years ago.
I've been a Power Rangers fan from the beginning, from the very first
episode.
I remember seeing the previews on Fox Kids and everything, getting excited because I was thinking, this looks kind of like it could be a new type of Voltron, you know?
It was essentially a live-action Voltron.
So I got up early. My brother got up early. We went out with our box of Cookie Crisp cereal and our blankets, sat right in front of the TV, like this close, and watching it. And my brother's just sitting there like
half asleep.
Yeah.
Like, why are we watching that?
And then it starts getting into the action, and he wakes up. I'm just sitting there like.
And to me, the series, I knew even then it wasn't a good series. It was very entertaining. My favorite memories of Power Rangers is trying to find damn toys. Yeah. The hunt, the thrill of the hunt. And I'm happy to say that I think it was a week or two before the series aired, Toys R Us, back when it looked like Toys R Us, like when they had, one aisle full of action figures, had half the aisle of all Power Rangers. And that's the only time I actually saw all the Power Ranger figures together, because nobody was touching them. Nobody knew what it was. But I saw this 1 2-pack that looked like a metal Godzilla with a big green action figure. And it would turn out in the series to be the Dragon Zord and the Green Ranger, complete with a shiny shield and a gun. And I bought that. I got that. I didn't buy it. My dad bought it for me. And when Power Rangers aired, I was like, oh, that's what this is. And I was waiting to see this character in the show, which we did eventually. I think about a month or so later, we did finally get the Green Ranger, 5-part Green Ranger series. And
it was actually over Christmas, because I remember we had that winter break in between the end of the Green Ranger saga and the next few episodes.
Yeah, the cool thing was that by the time they got to the Green Ranger saga, it was on 5 days a week as opposed to just Saturday. So you could actually watch Monday through Friday all new episodes.
It was also on Saturdays.
And Saturdays.
And they would do reruns in the mornings before kids went to school.
Yeah. It was a huge Power Rangers just took to me by storm. So the fact that they come out with a new Power Rangers movie that's based on the Mighty Morphin era that you and I grew up watching.
Right.
I think it's awesome. I'm excited whether it's going to be a good movie or bad movie.
See, I've tried sitting down watching some of the newer series and everything. I can't really get into it because,
have you? Again, this might be a topic for another show. I'm going through every single one. Like I said, right now I'm on Operation Overtime. I'm watching them all in order. It's taken me a while because there's so many.
The only ones I could get into were Megaforce, Super Megaforce, and Dino Charge, simply because Tommy was.
But have you watched Mystic Force?
I have watched Mystic Force. Rita Repulsa came back as the Mystic Mother.
Out of the non-Mighty Morphin era series, and I stopped the Mighty Morphin series at season 6 when Zordon's capsule got released. That to me, that's where Mighty Morphin Power Rangers ended. The other Power Rangers series, after that, I'd have to say Mystic Force is actually my favorite.
See, my favorite non-Mighty Morphin series, which was the series that destroyed Zordon,
that was
Power Rangers in Space.
Yeah.
Which would you consider in space
season 6?
But would you consider it pre-Zordon or post-Zordon era?
No, in space. That's the last episode is where I end the Mighty Morphin era.
Okay.
That's season 6. That's where I end the Mighty. To me, when that happens, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers ends, and other Power Rangers start.
See, I didn't really care for Lost Galaxy. I watched it all the way through.
Lost Galaxy was alright. Lost Galaxy.
It was okay once they brought Astra in.
Astronema?
Yeah, Astronema in to take over as a Pink Ranger after the original Pink Ranger from Lost Galaxy got killed. And then they brought her back for some god-awful reason.
In behind the scenes, the actress, I believe, actually got really sick. I think she had cancer or got sick. So she needed to leave, and they brought in Astronema to fill in that part because it was easy to do. It was familiar already with the Power Ranger fans. So it was just an easy transaction to do it that way, as opposed to reintroducing somebody else. You have to rewrite the script, get to know them.
Now, see, I will go through some of the newer series and find ones where it has like the team-ups. Like the real team-ups.
You mean like the Power Rangers Ninja Turtle crossover?
Not that kind of team-up. Like Forever Red or
Forever Red was
Always a Ranger.
Always a Ranger, yeah. There was even the actual all Black Ranger episode. And I don't remember when that was. But yeah, we had Johnny Young Bosch come back.
Really? I never saw that.
Yeah.
I never even heard. I've seen pictures
Zach
of it
didn't come back, but Johnny Young Bosch came back for Black Ranger.
I've seen pictures of it online, but I've never.
He actually had the morpher. They had enough charge for one more, and it was dangerous for him to use.
No, that was a Power Rangers in Space episode. That wasn't that wasn't an all Black Ranger episode. That was an in Space episode.
I'm getting all my Ranger. I'm watching so many. Like I said, I've watched literally Mighty Morphin all the way through Overdrive. Well, not through, but to Overdrive. So a lot of them are getting kind of.
And if you guys ever get the chance, check out Bat in the Sun on YouTube. They do some great fan-made shows.
Now, was it Bat in the Sun that did that Power Ranger short?
Yeah. They did the White Ranger versus Scorpion and Green Ranger versus Ryu. They also did the Waiting Room that had Tommy, Jason David Frank, and Johnny Young Bosch, who played Adam.
Right.
And they were actually talking to Deadpool.
Now, they didn't do, a couple years ago, just before the movie was announced, somebody did a really gritty short Mighty Morphin Power Ranger short. That wasn't bad.
No, that had James Van Der Beek in it, and
the chick who played Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica, and had a lot of familiar faces.
Very
we're not going to give anything away, but it was really well done. The studio originally forced them to take it down, and they had such huge backlash from fans that they were forced to allow them to put it back up. So, I mean, check it out. Put on just type in YouTube. Go on YouTube. Type in fan-made Power Ranger.
It was really gritty, like almost like a Batman Begins.
It was very Armageddon, post-apocalyptic type.
They didn't do it like it was originally portrayed in the show.
It wasn't that corny at all.
No, it was.
And it actually comes back to not Rita Repulsa and Zeb, but the Machine Empire.
Yeah.
From Zeo.
Yeah.
So check it out. But anyway,
also some good fan-made ones are Zordon of Eltar and Teenagers with Attitude.
Haven't seen that one.
They're both really good. Zordon of Eltar shows it's a fan-made movie of how Zordon became trapped in the tube, and he was the original White Ranger type deal. He commanded the Tiger Zord and had Saba.
Which is how they were able to make the power transfer over.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
They wanted to make a sequel to Teenagers with Attitude to show them actually powered up and everything, but they couldn't get the fan funding for it. But both were really great.
So, little nostalgia here for you, though. The Power Rangers movie looks like it's shaping up to be pretty decent. I'm really waiting to see some footage, like some pictures. I'm sure now that they've started filming, we're going to start seeing some stills, maybe some official, non-official, and I would say by the end of the year we may even see a trailer. Yeah. So, that comes out next year, doesn't it?
I think so.
It comes out next year. So now let's get on to something I think you and I can agree we're not thrilled about. Archie.
Yes.
Or what is it called? It's called Riverdale.
Yeah, it's a new CW show called Riverdale.
Also Dawson's Creek 2.0.
Yeah.
The cast is horrendous.
It's going to have all the Archies in it. It's going to have Josie and the Pussycats, all those characters.
And I guess it's going to be more based on the newer Archie comic that they've done as opposed to the old original Archie.
It looks kind of like the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, it doesn't. We're not thrilled about it.
Why do you keep ruining our childhoods?
There needs to be a law.
Yeah.
Castrate law. Or, no, root law. Okay. Another this. If you screw up our childhood, you start losing parts.
Yeah.
We need to hire a thingy.
They got
You're screwing up the kid. You're screwing up the childhood. You're doing Archie like that. You're not doing Archie like that. You're gonna change it. You're gonna change it. You're gonna lose something.
They got Luke Perry playing Archie's dad. In the comics, Archie's dad is this
overweight, balding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not Luke Perry.
No.
Anybody who is still a pretty boy.
Yeah.
He is still a very pretty boy. And so I'd rather go back and watch him in Sharknado.
Yeah.
And
Sharknado was awesome. I love the Sharknado movies.
Haven't seen the second and third one.
Oh, they're great.
So neither one of us are thrilled on Archie. The casting, there's the one that's playing Veronica, I think is the only one that I can see playing that character. At least they got a brunette for it. But they are casting Josie and the Pussycat, was always one of my favorites of the Archie comics. Sabrina too, I hope shows up if they do it right. They're doing more reality based. I doubt we'll see Sabrina or Wendy the Nice Witch.
I don't think they'll bring Sabrina in, because when I think of Sabrina, I think of Melissa Joan Hart.
Now here's a question: with this new Archie show, will we see other Archie characters not in the Archie, and then that have shown up in the Archie world but not official? Like, will we see Sabrina? Will we see Wendy the Good Witch?
That's what is said on comicbookmovie.com.
Will we see Casper? Will we see all these other Archie?
I doubt it with the way CW's presenting it.
And with CW doing Archie, now Archie Comics is known to be really crazy with some of their issues. One of the most famous Archie issues is Archie meets the Punisher. It exists. Now they obviously can't do Punisher,
Right.
but maybe we can get Archie meets the Arrow, or Archie meets the Flash. Some other characters that are
Archie meets Deathstroke.
Archie meets Deathstroke, which would be kind of on the lines of Archie meets the Predator, which also happened in the comic books. And somehow survived, although at some point Archie did die. In the comics, they did kill Archie. I don't know how.
See, I like the original old school Archie style.
I used to love watching the cartoon series.
I don't remember much about it, but I like that art style.
I always wanted to see the movie too. Remember the old movie that they made? It looked kind of reminiscent of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And I think it had Judge Reinhold as Archie.
Really?
I think. I have to go back.
Did they make that in the 80s or the 70s?
I think it was the middle 80s.
I think I remember
I don't think it was more of a made-for-TV movie. I don't think it wasn't one at the theater. But I remember at the video store, I'd see the video and I'd see Archie. And at the time, I wasn't into Archie. I was into Spider-Man and, Now I definitely would rent it if I could find it.
So I think they already did the Archie TV show a long time ago, though.
It was
called Happy Days.
There's your Archie.
Yes.
Yeah, we even had the redhead. We had the goofy sidekick. We have Reggie, who was Fonzie, pretty much. Yeah.
Just leave it alone. Next thing you know,
not
to give Hollywood any ideas.
They're going to reboot Happy Days.
Yeah.
And with Happy Days, they're going to reboot Laverne and Shirley and reboot Mork and Mindy, which all happened in the same universe if you're a fan and remember correctly.
Yeah.
So yeah, right now it's a thumbs down completely on this Archie idea. Riverdale, not feeling it at all.
I don't know.
CW, I know they don't want to be known as the comic book station, although they keep putting on these comic book shows like Arrow, Flash, Legend of Tomorrow. Now we've got Archie, which, is a comic book based show. I'm sorry, no matter how they're not doing it.
I'll watch the first episode if it gets that far,
First episode.
just so that we can do a review. Tell you guys not to waste your time.
What else we got?
We got some more movie news.
While you're thinking of that, I didn't go over this with you. I apologize, but I just recently purchased and watched the new Lego Justice League movie. I love these little Justice League Lego movies. You had Lego Batman movie, which is essentially just cutscenes from the Lego Batman movie put together, some extra scenes. You had I don't ask the names of all of them. They did one. The last one was basically Lego Super Friends versus Lego Legion of Doom. They even did the old the noise effects there. They were pretty cool. And I'll go out and check it out. I give it a full thumbs up. It comes. Each one of these is another thing that's really cool. Each one comes with a Lego figurine.
Batman one. Batman one came with a Lego Clark Kent turning into Superman figurine.
Okay.
Another one came.
See, I thought that was pretty funny in the what was it, Lego Superman, Batman, or whatever, wherever Clark Kent changed Batman changed from Superman back into Batman, and
Right.
all they did was take off their heads.
And they show that in the movie.
Yeah.
Another one came with like a Bat Zorro Lego figurine. Another one came with the Trickster. We're going back to the Trickster. That's why the little Mark Hamill Lego Trickster. And this new one came with Cosmic Boy from the Legion of Superheroes. The Legion of Superheroes. Cosmic Boy, Lightning Lad, and Saturn Roller, and show up in this. So, and their villain is Vandal Savage, which is why I bring this up. Because Vandal Savage is the big bad in Legends of Tomorrow. So it's worth a check out. Check it out. Check it out.
Yeah.
Get your free little Lego figure.
Some of the movie news we have, just two things. Live, how do you pronounce his name? Liv Schreiber?
Liv Schreiber.
Yeah.
Liv Schreiber
He's going to be,
is in talks,
Yeah.
or at least has heard from the studio.
about reprising his Sabretooth role.
Thumbs up all the
Yes.
way. Thumbs up all the way.
I like Schreiber's role as Sabretooth a lot better than Tyler Lane's.
Tyler Maines, who should have been a good Sabretooth.
Yeah.
Had they allowed him to try acting.
Yeah.
We don't know if he can act or not. He's never actually.
They don't give him speaking roles. I mean, he played Michael Myers in the Rob Zombie Halloween films.
Yeah.
That's
He doesn't.
they don't let him talk.
I mean,
Other than
as
that,
Michael, he did pretty good. Sabretooth, the whole scream for me. That was the only thing Sabretooth for me that worked in that first film. But Liv Schreiber really pulled it off. He was probably one of the highlights of the Wolverine Origins movie. I was just talking to him about that too, the Wolverine Origins movie. I'm not exactly sure where that went wrong. Because they had his origin in that movie. They had character. I mean, the biggest trouble that's off is obviously Deadpool. And but
I
Liv
think that
Schreiber
was the-
definitely.
I think that was the biggest part where X-Men Origins went wrong was with Barakapool.
Yeah, it might have been enjoyable had they not thrown that in there.
The next piece of movie news, which is the last piece, is that Gambit, starring Channing Tatum, has been indefinitely postponed.
They pulled the date,
Yeah.
and I think they put a couple of other movies in its place. So we don't know, or there are a couple of untitled, unannounced Marvel movies in the place of one of the places where Gambit was at. Now, they're not just going to scrap Gambit. They have Channing Tatum. Even if they don't do a solo movie, they're going to put him in a movie. They're going to put him in another X-Men movie. They're going to put him in another Wolverine movie or something.
See,
They're
this
not
is
just going to scrap.
this is where we're kind of divided. John says he thinks Channing Tatum's going to make a great Gambit.
I say great.
Good,
I
maybe.
think he'll be better than the last guy.
I
Who
think
had
they,
the potential to be the great Gambit.
see, I think they should have stuck with the last guy and gave him a second chance, like they did with Ryan Reynolds.
Again, Gambit was there. He started out with the accent, and it kind of trailed off as the movie went by. Same with it when you first see him, he's Gambit, and again, Gambit personality and everything waves off towards the end of the movie. The closer it gets to the end of the movie, the less Gambit we get. We get some actor saying he's Gambit. So they started out as, hey, here's Gambit. And you're like, yeah, okay, awesome. Gambit's in the movie. And you're like, what happened to Gambit? By the time we see him last flying off in the helicopter, like, where we get a hint of Gambit and Wolverine's animosity and towards each other with the fight and everything. But then again, it trails off and they quickly become friends.
See, I think another part where X-Men Origins went wrong was Wolverine was constantly saying how he hates to fly. They never quite explained it. He's got a healing factor. If he falls, if the plane crashes, nothing's going to happen to him.
Everybody has high flight.
High flight.
High flight. High fright. High fright. Don't like flying. You fight with somebody who doesn't like flying. But now you say that they should have that same guy play Gambit in the other movies. But we both agree the reason why is they want to name a character for that. They're getting ready to lose Hugh Jackman, who's now a name in Hollywood.
because of Wolverine.
Not because of the movies. He loved playing that character. It's the workout sessions he has to go through each time he plays the character. He says it's getting harder because he's getting older. It's actually getting harder and harder for him to bulk up and train to be Wolverine.
But I meant he's a name in Hollywood because
of Wolverine.
No,
so they're gonna
before he became Wolverine, it was down to Doug Ray Scott,
who had to pull out.
yeah, because of what was it, Mission Impossible?
Yeah, Mission Impossible. So he.
Which actually, if you guys remember, way back when Wizard magazine was out, years before X-Men,
I was in 8th grade when this.
they actually called it Doug Ray Scott was going to be cast as Wolverine, and Patrick Stewart as Professor X.
Professor X. And this was just fan casting.
Yes.
This was fan cast. They had a bunch of other names. I think I still have that book.
I think they might have even said Halle Berry as Storm.
Did they?
I think.
I don't think she was an A then. This was back in
96.
94?
96.
Was it 96?
I believe so.
No, I moved here in 96. I was in high school.
I was in junior high.
They did this back when I was in 8th grade. That was back in, I joined, I was in high school in 90.
Or no, I was in intermediate school, so it would have been probably
93, 94. 93, 94. But yeah, they had this, the Wizard
casting
magazine.
call.
Back when it was really cool, back when it was still a price guide, they used to do this one thing called casting call, where they would pick comic book movies, and they would pick their fan favorite actors to portray different characters.
Didn't Kevin Smith, wasn't he one of the publishers of Wizard magazine?
He might have been one or two, but he wasn't the main one. No.
Oh, okay.
No. But one of the biggest noted and most remembered fan cast of the magazine was the X-Men one, because it pulled off so many yes, her.
Yeah.
And it actually accurately accidentally predicted Doug Ray Scott as Wolverine and Patrick Stewart as Professor X. But if you were a kid at that age watching Star Trek, you already, before that magazine came out, you already said you wanted Patrick Stewart for two characters. You wanted Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier, and you wanted Patrick Stewart as Mr. Freeze.
I still think Patrick Stewart would make a great Doctor. The Doctor.
Oh yeah, in fact, him, Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen's already been on Doctor Who in the Christmas special.
He was, Ian McKellen was in the Christmas special. Yeah.
But
Patrick Stewart, I think, did one too. I think he did a voiceover for it. Didn't you?
I'm not sure. See, I just started picking up Doctor Who with Matt Smith. Matt Smith was my doctor until we got the new doctor, and now he's my favorite.
Peter Capaldi.
Yes. He is a great doctor.
As far as the new doctors go, 9 through 12, David Tennant
That's my wife's favorite.
is my doctor. Peter Capaldi is my second. My overall 1 through 12 will always be Doctor number 4, Tom Baker. And if you go on my Facebook page, you'll see me. Go to my page, you'll see me dressed a couple years ago for Halloween, and Tom Baker for Doctor. Long scarf, hair.
See, I fan petition right now for Patrick Stewart to become the next Doctor before he dies.
He did say he would do it for 1 season.
Yeah.
So, that's
Oh.
kind of cool. Here's a little tidbit. Did you know Peter Cushing was Doctor Who? Grandma Park.
Okay.
It's not official canon, but yeah, there was like some type of made-for-TV, I think, British Doctor Who, and it's not canon or anything like that. He portrayed one of the doctors.
Okay.
And I only know this because I saw it at our local Mega Replay for sale at one point. I almost got it, but it was like $50, $60. It was insane. That was used. But yeah, that's how I knew that Peter Cushing had portrayed it for as a doctor.
So now let's go on to what I was talking to you about earlier, what I mentioned to you a few days ago. If you could choose any group of superheroes from any comic book continuity to bring together as a team, what heroes would you choose?
Me, and I have some posts from a few people I'll read to you on Facebook. Mine, my team from any comic book, any continuity would be, you would have Green Lantern, you'd have Batman, you'd have Wolverine, Spider-Man, you had that Death Block, you had She-Hulk, and you had a comic relief character. You had Flash with a comic relief character in Justice League, and X-Men you had kind of like Beast or more. Mine would be Howard the Duck. Don't judge.
Mine would be, it would be a new version of Infinity Incorporated. Way back when they did Infinity Inc. Series, and then they tried to reboot it years later before New 52 came out. I would bring in Outburst, which would be DC's answer to Spider-Man years after the fact. He was actually introduced as Mitch Anderson in the Death of Superman storyline as a kid who Doomsday and Superman destroy his house. I would bring in Vaporlock, Natasha Irons, Steel as a mentor, John Henry Irons, Martin Stein as another mentor, Nubia, the Black Wonder Woman, which in pre-crisis continuity.
Do you have fire today?
Are those posters up there?
Those are posters up on the window, but I don't have any in for sale.
Well, what are those on the rack?
Posters on the rack?
Right, yeah, right there. I don't know what they are.
Oh, on the windows?
No, on the, you see that black rack?
Oh, the comics?
Yeah, what are those?
This is comic books for
Oh,
sale. Yep.
okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Moving on.
Alright, so Outburst, Vaporlock, Steel, Martin Stein as a mentor, Nubia, the Black Wonder Woman. Pre-crisis continuity, Nubia was Wonder Woman's twin sister who was made out of a darker sand than Wonder Woman. Post-crisis, I don't know if she's shown up in the New 52 or not, but she was an Amazon who was one of the first winners of the Tournament of Wonder.
I can't find the post on it right now. My internet's kind of, so I'll post it on Facebook.
Another, I would also choose Connor Hawk, which, as we touched on in the last episode, the second Green Arrow, Oliver Queen's son.
Right.
I would also choose the newest Green Lantern so far, Simon Baz, simply because there has to be a Green Arrow, Green Lantern in there. And since Kyle Rayner has become the White Lantern, and he's become more friendly with Arsenal now than he was with Connor Hawk, you know, there's got to be that whole Green Lantern, Green Arrow type thing. I would also choose the Manhattan Guardian, which is basically DC's answer to Captain America. I would choose Static because
Who doesn't like that?
and Static's power is electricity. Outburst power is magnokinesis.
What's up, Jared?
I'll be back.
Oh, okay.
Magnokinesis. So it's one of those things where powers could really amplify each other. I would also do. I would choose Vixen, which if you guys saw.
I think you're right the first time.
Yeah. The Ray from the 90s, Ray Terrell. The greatest portrayal of the Ray. I didn't like the Golden Age Ray, which was Ray Terrell's father. I didn't like the New 52 Ray. Ray Terrell, the white costume, black leather jacket, gold helmet. That's the Ray I grew up with. And finally, spoiler. Yes. She isn't given enough credit. Spoiler, Stephanie Brown. She's been spoiler, she's been Batgirl, she's been Robin. She needs more love. So she needs to be a part of the team. I
She
think,
needs more training.
but I think there are a lot of C and D list characters, heroes. I think if you brought them together into one team and made it an Infinity Inc. team, since it's already they've already had a standalone comic series that lasted for quite some time in the, what was it, the Silver Age? Or was it in the post-crisis era? Because it would have been, Jade was on the team.
Right. I'm not. That's been sold.
So if you get a bunch of C and D list heroes that can actually work off each other like that under the name of
But
an actually given team,
I think you also need a couple of top names in there that kind
That's-
of lead the team.
that's why I got Martin Stein, he's one half of Firestorm, which during the 80s he was Firestorm,
Right.
the only Firestorm.
Right.
And
And there's the other gentleman that's supposed to be older.
right. And I've also got John Henry Iron Steel as a mentor type role, who will put on the iron or the steel armor at some points whenever it gets. But I would make them more like a Black Ops style unit. Where
Suicide Squad?
no, not like Suicide Squad. More like what the Team or the Young Justice were in the TV show.
Okay. Yeah. Which may also be coming back with season 3
It's on Netflix.
on Netflix, which is great. So I'll throw that out there. I don't think there's anything else.
What heroes who were in the pre-New 52 era comics that haven't shown up in New 52 would you bring back? Because they're getting ready to do DC Rebirth.
DC Rebirth, which we've been told is not a reboot.
But there's going to be some new characters.
There's some new characters. They're doing #1 issues, and they're bringing with starting with Detective Comics and Action Comics. They're renumbering them with the original
Yeah.
numbers of where they should be at.
Because
So
they wanted to get up to
wanted
1,000.
and they're close to 1,000 right
Yeah.
now. So that's their big thing. But,
There's going to be the first, or which should be the second, because Jade was a Green Lantern.
Jade was a Green Lantern.
So Earth's second female Green Lantern, which from the publicity posters and stuff, all you see are the silhouettes and the symbols.
I think they pretty much brought back everybody.
There's talk of Superboy going back to his original costume with the leather jacket.
That's fine. But I really can't recall any characters that hadn't shown up in New 52.
They're talking about bringing back the true Wally West.
That'd be fine.
Yes.
He's gonna get some ginger love.
I think what they may do is they might merge the.
Conversions, and they failed horribly flat on their face. And that didn't work out, so now they're trying to do it again. I hope and pray Marvel just stay where you are. You're starting to flesh things out again after Secret Wars. The horrible thing they did, they made Secret Wars was originally 1 through 8. They turned it into 9 issues as opposed to 8. But they didn't finish Secret Wars before they started bringing out all the new titles. And so people who are buying them, maybe Spider-Man or Doctor Strange or the Avengers, Inhumans, especially Inhumans Guardians of the Galaxy, because Johnny Storm is an Inhuman and things with the Guardians of the Galaxy, didn't know what the hell was going on. Because Secret Wars hadn't ended yet. So we didn't know why Johnny was with the Inhumans. We didn't know why, where's Reed, where's Sue, why is Reed a bad guy? We didn't know any of these things until Secret Wars. It really confused a lot of people. I think it turned a lot of people off their books. But it's starting to slowly pick up again. Things are starting to get flushed out. So every time DC reboots, Marvel feels they have to.
Yeah, there's like this big.
And I know Marvel's starting to try shaking things up again with their Civil War 2.
Yeah.
And they're only doing that because of the movie coming out.
Which, all honesty, some of the other comic book channels on here, like Comic Storian and Variants and all them, have touched on this before. Why are Marvel and DC being so aggressive against each other?
It's always been friendly competition.
See, now it's becoming more of, you're doing this, so we've got to.
I wish they would do that with the movies
They need to, they really need to
and the TV shows.
go back to doing crossover events, like Marvel DC crossovers again. And have it back to friendly competition, whereas now it's more aggressive, like, they're doing the same thing, but they're kind of ripping each other off.
But I don't want to see another Marvel DC with their current characters. Because the last time they did a Marvel vs. C crossover, we had Spider-Man, but it wasn't Spider-Man, it was Ben Ryan, it wasn't Peter Parker. We had Wolverine, but but he didn't have his adamantium. He had his bone claws. We had Aquaman, but he had his hook hand. We had Hulk, but it was Banner Hulk.
It
wasn't the characters we wanted to see portrayed in Marvel DC, and now we definitely don't have those characters because now Wolverine is dead, and that's X-23.
And Old Man Logan.
And it's not Lobo, it's Lobo, which is even more confusing. Superman has barely any powers. Jim Gordon, Batman. I think that's getting ready to change.
And if you guys don't know the whole deal with Superman, he developed this new power called the Super Flare.
Right.
And it drained his power. It started out as a limited time. Now it's becoming more extended.
Yeah.
He's got his original abilities way back when Superman was first introduced to
Batman
comics.
can just leap tall
Yeah.
buildings in a single bang and then fly.
He's not, is he still indestructible or?
No, he's more indestructible than most, but there was an issue back when they did all this where he kind of got beat down by a street game.
Yeah.
So
I remember that.
So I mean, let's not do a Marvel DC crossover just yet. Let's get the original characters back. Wait till Wolverine comes back. We know Wolverine will come back.
And we've got Commissioner Gordon Batman now.
in the Mac Bat suit. Wait till Bruce comes back.
That looks like
as
Johnny
Batman.
Plenty record.
But I agree. We need some more crossovers. It would be kind of cool to see some actual cool crossovers again. We don't get those anymore. I mean, we were getting, Green Lantern, Silver Surfer. We were getting Batman, Spider-Man. We were getting Superman, Hulk. For
Justice
many
League
years,
Avengers.
Justice League Avengers was the last one they actually got.
Yeah.
I had a chance to read it. I heard it was horrible.
See, when it first came out, everyone did say it was horrible. But now people are looking back at it and realizing, hey, we got all this during that story. It's greater than we thought it was.
Because we're not getting any more crossovers.
Have you seen the new Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon series?
Not the new, the one with the introduced, I guess Mr. Six is the new. No, I've watched episodes here and there. The series does not impress me. It's a Spider-Man series.
I think it's right up there with the original animated series from Fox Kids.
See,
I like the art style. I like how they got Drake Bell as the voice of Spider-Man.
The last Spider-Man cartoon I actually really liked and felt needed to continue a little longer was the Spectacular Spider-Man.
That was okay.
Because that one actually stayed, art-wise, it threw me off.
Yeah.
But story-wise, it stayed a little truer to the comics and source material than this Ultimate one. Of course, my Spider-Man series will always be the Fox animated series. Which, let's give it some DVD loving, please.
Yeah.
You got like 6 volumes, we need the whole series.
Yeah.
But which, by the way, I'm sporting Spider-Man 2099 shirt. That's my Spider-Man right there. But this is my favorite Spider-Man.
Bat in the Sun is talking about doing a superpowered beatdown between Spider-Man 2099 and Batman Beyond.
I'll watch it.
But in last week's episode of Ultimate Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six, they brought back Miles Morales. They brought him into the 616 or whatever.
Which is what they did in the current Marvel storyline.
To help fight.
616, yeah.
I don't know if they're calling this Earth though 616 because it's so different from comic books.
It's called Ultimate Spider-Man, and it's supposed to be 6. Yeah, I know it's a kid's cartoon. It's geared more towards
but they also brought in the Scarlet Spider. I don't think he's Kane though because
he's Ben Riley.
I don't think he's Ben Riley either. He is the Green Goblin, or no, Dr. Octopus did experiments way back when, and he was the original Spider before Peter Parker.
So, are they going to do a superior Spider-Man type storyline with this?
I don't know.
Which, I don't care what anybody says, I actually thought that was brilliant with guts. It was actually somewhat enjoyable to read. I enjoyed it. I thought Marvel, that was the first time in many years Marvel actually grew a pair. And went against the status quo.
See, to me,
and not only, wasn't just a storyline. It wasn't just a few 10-issue storylines. They actually ran about 33 issues.
To me, though, Superior Spider-Man felt more like Reign of the Superman. But
Well, this is getting kind of long.
yeah.
We need to save some stuff for next week.
Yeah, we do. I think we'll have plenty more to talk about next
I'd
week.
like to pose a question. You posed who would you pick for your superhero team? I'd like to pose a question. Marvel, DC, Image, Top Cow, doesn't matter. What was your favorite comic book storyline and why? I have so many. I know that this is what I'm going to think about a week to think about. My favorite, I like Blackest Night. I like Death Return of Superman. I like Emerald Dawn. Age of Apocalypse. So I'm gonna have to think about this one. I'll come back. You think about yours. I'll think about mine. Go ahead and send us a tweet, a Facebook message. You can email me geekingoutcomics@yahoo.com.
You can message me on Facebook, YouTube. I kind of do the Twitter thing, but not really. I've got 2 Twitter accounts, but I never use them.
Geeking Out Comics has a Twitter account.
Let's talk about what we were going to bring up real quick. What we were going to bring up earlier about the live studio audience.
I was getting ready to hit on that. We announced this week that we filmed here at the comic book store. Last episode we had actually about 5 people sitting here. They enjoyed watching, like interacting with them. If something you want to do, you want to be on the show, you want to be part of the show, come on out. We'll give you dates on when we're filming. We may even make it part of the show.
Yeah.
Come on up here. We'll let you ask a question. We'll get you in on some of the topics. Your views on an episode of Flash or Gotham or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Next week's really good because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back, so we're going to touch on that next week.
We won't have Supergirl. It's on a hiatus again.
So we won't have Supergirl, we won't have Flash, we won't have Arrow.
I don't know if we'll have Lucifer or not. I think we will have Lucifer.
And I'll have a catch up on Agent Carter next week as well.
And we'll have Gotham.
We will have Gotham. Again, great episode. Fun episode.
I think whenever shows like this go on hiatus, what we may do is direct the show more towards the comics.
Comics, movies.
And what's on the stands that
if
week.
Or like to see any other topics like wrestling. I think we're huge wrestling fans. You want to do any suggested topics by all means, let us know. We'll try to touch them on.
Speaking of wrestling, The Undertaker returned this past.
Got to see him a few times live. We'll touch up on that next week. Until then, I'm John Watts.
I'm Shannon Cornthwaite.
Keep geeking out.
And come back next time.
Bye.
Welcome to another exciting episode of
And after that, an exciting episode of Comicgeddon. I'm not involved in that episode.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Comicgeddon.
Where comics and movies come. Fuck. What he said before. I can play that game too.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Comicgeddon.
Where comics and movies collide.
Thought it was TV.
That too. And that one was on accident.
Alright. Welcome to another exciting episode of Comicgeddon.
Where comics and... I almost said movies again. Let's just go watch a movie.
There you go. Welcome to Comicgeddon.
Where comics and TV collide.
You got it.
I did.
We're your hosts,